I write this as a confession of a once hopeful student of Concordia University, Wisconsin, Mequon, a place that promised divine guidance yet delivered only disillusionment. I arrived with the confidence of a privileged heir, a lover of literature, and a dream that education would be a polished tapestry rather than a tattered curtain. From the moment I stepped onto the campus, the first betrayal unfolded in the dormitory. The brochure showed spacious halls of marble and light, yet the actual rooms were cramped closets with thin walls that whispered every footstep. The carpet, when it existed, was stained with an unidentifiable brown film that clung to my shoes, and the air carried a sour mildew that made my stomach turn. A flat rate of $3,300 per semester meant I paid the price of a palace while living in a cell. This misrepresentation is cruel because it steals the trust of a student, forces them to sacrifice comfort, and erodes the dignity that a safe living space should provide. The classroom experience was no better. I enrolled in an MBA core course, expecting rigorous business instruction. Instead, the syllabus shifted after the second week to require essays on biblical passages, a sudden change that ignored the original contract. The professor handed us assignments about theology while the textbook listed modern finance. When the final exam arrived, its questions were drawn from a source the professor never presented, leaving us guessing amidst panic. This is a violation of academic integrity. Changing curriculum without notice deprives students of the chance to study properly, and an exam that does not reflect taught material renders the entire course meaningless. It reduces the value of the degree and wastes the tuition paid. The religious overreach seeped into every corner. A director openly declared that Concordia is a religious entity first, an educational institute second. This statement alone frames the institution as a place where faith supplants learning. For a student who does not share that creed, the environment feels like an invisible prison, where dissent is not tolerated. Such an atmosphere stifles free thought, discourages honest inquiry, and breeds resentment. It is a betrayal of the promise that a university should be a marketplace of ideas, not a single-sided sermon. Dining was a saga of despair. The campus offers 3 venues: the Nest, the Cafe, and the Landing, all operated by Sadiqs. The Cafe presents a buffet of stale pastries, soggy fries, and overcooked burgers that taste of burnt rubber. The Nest's pizza is a limp slab, the cheese separating like pale clouds on a gray sky, while the tacos are a mush of wilted lettuce and dry meat that leaves a lingering grease on the palate. The Landing's sub-sandwiches are assembled with bread that is too hard to bite and fillings that feel like cardboard. The smell in the dining hall is a constant cloying fried oil that makes my throat ache. This poor quality food attacks both physical health through bland nutrition and possible stomach upset and mental well-being, because meals should nourish the body and lift the spirit, not leave you fearing the next bout of Sadiqso diarrhea that students whisper about in hushed, disgusted tones. The low standards reveal cost-cutting priorities that value profit over student welfare. Administration proved equally unforgiving.
The businesses circling Concordia University, Wisconsin in Mequon feel like a practical joke played on anyone who arrives with a wallet and a heartbeat. I came expecting ordinary college town clutter, maybe a sleepy diner, maybe a candle-scented spa. But what I found was a ring of establishments that treat your time like loose change, your money like monopoly bills, and your dignity like the last napkin on the table, disposable, wrinkled, and already stained. Start with the places that promise to make you prettier. The cosmetic clinics near campus all sing the same sour lullaby: "Give us your lunch break, we'll give you a migraine." Illume is the loudest singer. They book you months ahead for a breast reduction, confirm twice, let you dream about finally jogging without pain, then phone 24 hours before the knife to say, "Oh, the doctor no longer accepts insurance. Didn't anyone mention?" You hang up feeling like you just shook hands with a magician who pulled your heart out of the hat and forgot to give it back. Inside, the reception island is a gossip aquarium. Clerks whisper about the client whose lips looked better before, while you stand 3 feet away holding a driver's license they once whisked off to check something, vanished for 10 minutes, and returned as if nothing happened. Botox, they charge Beverly Hills prices for results that fade faster than a campus parking sticker in a rainstorm. 2 months and your wrinkles pop back up like they were catching their breath. The surgeon who restitched a ruptured implant managed to leave one breast roaming a full cup size north of the other when the patient asked why. The answer was a shoulder shrug haiku, swelling takes time. Translation: live lopsided or pay again. Walk 10 minutes toward the lake and you'll bump into the restaurants that call themselves Japanese because they once saw a photo of Mount Fuji. Cute robot Japanese kitchen is the saddest robot in the world. It waves neon kanji at you, then forgets to cook. Couples sit for 90 minutes watching empty chopsticks mate on the table while the kitchen, apparently staffed by one solitary human and a microwave with commitment issues, tries to remember what rice looks like. When the curry finally arrives, it tastes like someone whispered the word Tokyo over a pot of Midwest stew. The takoyaki are golf balls wearing a tan. The strawberry, sando, is white bread, cool whip, and the tears of whoever believed $9 could buy authenticity. A pregnant woman once ordered a mocktail, received a surprise shot of vodka, and still had to beg before the staff agreed that maybe, just maybe, the alcoholic drink should leave the bill. The place is so desperate for Instagram fame that another server will ask you to stand up mid-bite, so an influencer can photograph her ramen against the mural you happen to block. You leave hungry, tipsy even if you didn't drink, and oddly proud that you once considered McDonald's fries the low bar. Breakfast in Mekwon is served at First Watch, where the slogan should be First Watch, Second Quality. The chain feels cursed. Near campus bacon arrives black and cold, as if it died yesterday and nobody told it the war was over. Biscuits and gravy cost $12 yet hide less sausage than a vegetarian cookout. The suggested tip screen calculates gratitude on post-tax totals, quietly pickpocketing another buck because, sure, you wanted to tip the governor too. One Mother's Day plate came out burnt outside, ice cold inside, Schrödinger's brunch, while the waitress slapped the check down like a parking ticket before the fork reached mouth. An Asian couple was marched past empty clean tables, told to hover in the aisle like lost luggage, then watched two newer pairs get seated instantly. No explanation, only the soft hiss of suspicion that maybe the host saw faces instead of guests. The Turkey Club once arrived reeking of cigarettes, as if the cook exhaled directly onto the toast.
You bite into despair, then pay for the privilege. Even shopping turns into a trust exercise with no spotter. Nordstrom at Mayfair, 10 minutes south, dresses its mannequins better than it treats shoppers who dare to dress casually. Enter in jeans, and you become invisible. Arrive in silk and staff materialize like perfume genies. A woman trying on sunglasses felt a clerk hover, stare, and finally walk off wordless, so she saved $50 by ordering the same pair online while still standing in the store. Another customer handed over a driver's license to verify a credit card and watched the salesperson disappear with it, returning only after a manager radioed, "Found."
You know, I've been looking into some pretty sad stuff happening around Concordia University, Wisconsin in Mekwon, and it's just heartbreaking how people can be so deceitful. Like there was this one time, a guy walked into a local store, you know, one of those charming little shops near the university, and he had the nerve to put forged gift cards on display. I can only imagine some unsuspecting tourist picking one up, thinking they've found the perfect souvenir or gift, only to find out later that it's a big fat zero. It's like, how could you? That's just wrong. And then there's this other story that makes me so frustrated. Some stores were caught selling fake sports memorabilia. These are tourists we were talking about, people who've come to enjoy our city, maybe catch a game, and they end up paying top dollar for counterfeit jerseys or whatever, believing they were getting something authentic, something with a story. It's just not fair, you know. They probably felt so cheated, and I bet they left with a bad taste in their mouth, thinking our whole town like that. But it doesn't stop there. Even with the pretty Concordia campus around, scammers are getting more brazen, pulling off in-person cons right under our noses. I can picture it, some poor tourist being sweet-talked into a bogus deal at a checkout counter, thinking they were getting a local insider tip, but really they were just being taken for a ride. It's like, can't we have nice things without someone ruining it? And then, there's this whole mess where scammers impersonated a vendor and nearly got away with a huge sum of money from the city. It's not directly a tourist scam, but it shows how anyone, even officials, can be fooled. I mean, if the city can be duped, what's stopping the same thing from happening to a visitor looking to make a big purchase? It's just scary to think about. In the end, the scammers probably thought they were so clever, didn't they? But karma's a thing, and I bet it caught up with them. Maybe they got caught, or